Two dads and a Chaz putting trophies on the wall. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. Two dads and a Chaz talking Green Bay Packers football. We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Most of gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up the air conditioner, cause it's bound to get hot. Two dads and a Chaz, you know we live it and we live it right. Two dads and a Chaz, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides them rings and putting trophies on the wall. Trophies, y'all. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.
Brett Favre is right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Two Dads and a Chaz podcast, the Green Bay Packer pod with the dad bod. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for those of you who have been liking and watching and subscribing as of late. As you all know, we are on more platforms. We are streaming on Spotify, we are streaming on iHeartRadio, and we are streaming on YouTube. And very shortly during this I will figure out, I swear to the Lord, whoever it is, whatever her name is, that I will get us onto Apple. Yay. Way to go, Chaz. We're all congratulating him.
Way to go, Chaz.
Oh, thank you, Bubba. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got cheese in your veins, beer on your breath, and Packers in your heart, welcome home. You have come to the right place. Now, let's introduce our Kings in the North. First up, let's hear it for Baron Von Bacon Stuff, a.k.a. Tyson Fauché. How you feeling, brother?
Well, Chaz, I'm alive and I'm here, and I am ready to do my duty as a Packers fan, owner, and friend of you, the pod listener.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Now let's pass it over to old Long Dong. Don't forget to spay and neuter your pets. Ty Elizabeth Wendell. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, man, I'm so good. No, kidding. I'm not. I'm good to be hanging out with you fellas. Terrible to be hanging out with this Packer team, and worried about what's to come. But right now, just suffering in the present. So.
I feel that actually. I've been suffering in the present all day, but that's diarrhea. Let's get on to my main man here. Of course, my domestic life partner, the porcelain prince himself, Aaron Mayhew. Talk to me, sweetness.
Oh, Chaz, I am wildly depressed. It's back-to-back year when our favorite team on the planet gets in front of the entire, nation to play this game that we love, and
yeah,
and they suck. God damn it, they suck. So yeah, not good, Chaz. Chaz, how you doing though?
You know what? It was like watching a dumpster fire full of baby diapers from start to finish, essentially. It didn't smell good the entire time. It was amusing to watch just because it's a dumpster on fire, but that's about it. Before you know it, it's like weird, creepy people start watching with you, and it's just not somewhere you want to be. I feel that there were probably better ways I could have spent my time yesterday. I ate so much cheese, though, that it's messed me up. When it stopped working, I doubled and tripled down, and I'm paying the price. I'm paying the price for sure.
Not to mention, we all got about 4 hours of sleep. So that's
if that.
Night games have got to end.
If that. I was really great getting to share my experience with some friends. I got to meet some new Packer fans down here, and I had them over for a first game. Having had lost the game yesterday, I'll never invite them back, obviously, because you don't mess with that kind of juju.
No, you don't.
But other than that,
you just picking up people in like the grocery store parking lot that are wearing Packer gear now, or
no? It's a guy I've actually known for a while. He's in a local motorcycle club that I'm in. It's called Just the Chaps, and I heard his accent and I was like, he's got to be a Uper. Sure enough, yeah, he's got a full-on Uper accent, man. And I was like, oh, he's definitely a Detroit fan. Sure enough, he grew up close enough to the Scotty border that he is a Packer fan. And so I had him over. I made him pick his shirt. He showed up with a Rodgers jersey on, and I was like, you got to take that shit off, dude. So I let him pick from the many 2X and 3X shirts that my dad has passed down to me over the last 20 years, and got him a fresh hat and taught him how to cheese up on D.
Ty,
all
that
in
brings
all-
up a pretty good point. I gotta admit, like somebody can do me a lot of wrong in this world, and if they're wearing Packer gear of any kind, or there's like a bumper sticker, I'm like, you know what? Go back.
You get a pass.
It's instant road rage incident over. When you're like, oh, hey, your shirt. It's like my shirt. Oh, yeah.
Exactly like that, Ty.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
colors and all.
Yeah.
Like that old man threw coffee at that waitress. I'm like, you mean the one with the Packers hat on?
Right.
Gary,
Well,
man, listen, it was a tough game last night. You guys need to be a little nicer, Gary.
it's true. But again, Tyson, where you guys are at, you see it all the time. If I see I see green and gold down here, like with my peripherals, and I'm 100% gonna talk to that guy for 30 minutes in whatever public setting we are at full volume.
And then the judge says, can you guys keep it down?
Keep
This
it
is a
down.
courtroom, not a sports bar.
The jury should not be speaking.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely, bro. So it was really nice getting to have some new blood in here. Unfortunately, it wasn't the greatest of games. I just got a new puppy. I mean, I sent the picture, I think, of her with her new jersey on. I mean, it makes your heart melt. But again, that game was just a wet fart. So we all have a lot to say about it. I just want to hear some initial thoughts on just initial thoughts. Ty, what do you think, buddy? How do you feel about yesterday?
I've seen losses where nothing good happened. I mean, there were some things in there that I got excited about. One, we were never that far out of it. You know, it's not like we got housed. You know, we were keeping pace, making mistakes, but recovering from them. AJ Dillon had a nice game, I thought. You know, especially in that third quarter drive when they just handed the ball to him 6 times and he ran into the end zone. Jordan Love, outside of the interception I think I can fit it in there. I'm noticing this trend with him is if he's going to throw interceptions, it's I totally thought I had that, which is not like the worst kind of interception. Jimmy Garoppolo threw I didn't see that guy standing there interception. Those are the worst kind of interceptions. So, I mean, yes, mistakes were made, kept getting in our own way. And I don't know who is not firing this team up, but for the second straight week in a row, did not seem into it. Just did not seem like it was an NFL football game kind of energy.
You're definitely right there, buddy. I feel that too. Maybe brough up something fun via Marty Pete today. I want to share with the guests that are listening. I too, Mayhew, was kind of like doing things while I was watching this game, even though I had people over, to kind of like, oh man, this isn't really going my way. I'll keep stocking the chips, or I'll fold a little laundry that's over here. Or I'll straighten up the Packer stuff, and it just kept getting like worse. I'm like, all right, well, 7's not bad. Well, we can come back from 14, but then it's like, oh my god. What was your experience, brother?
Yeah, I was trying to keep myself occupied the entire time, thinking in the back of my mind, I'm just like, God, this team we're playing is absolute trash. Honestly, it's like one of the worst football games, like start to finish on both teams, where I was just like, wow, this is really bad football on a Monday. But Tyson, let me ask you this: if I was to just throw a couple of stats your way, okay? Let me tell you that if I were to tell you that AJ Dillon had 76 yards and a TD, okay, Christian Watson had 91 yards. And then over on the other side of the ball, Jimmy Garoppolo just only had 208 yards and a pick, and Josh Jacobs was held to 69 yards and 1 TD. That feels like a win on paper, right? Like,
I've seen a lot of recipes lately, and that one is guaranteed for a win. It feels like, knowing what I know about our team, that's got to be a win, right?
right. And then I'm like,
Right?
hey, and then the defense holds them to 17 points total. You're like, God, that sounds like a layup slam dunk. Like we must have annihilated those pieces of shit. That's not the answer, Tyson. It did not play out that way.
Not at all.
Wow.
Oh, for the guests that couldn't hear that because his mic clipped out, Tyson went, "What?"
That's right, I did. What? Yeah. I don't know what was more soft and sloppy, my baby's diaper as I was holding him and he's taking dumps in my hand while I watch this game, or the Packers play. It is really frustrating. This game was classic dad statement. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Ooh, coming with the hurts.
Where
the
is that
feels.
disappointment? What went wrong, Tyson, in your mind? Where did it start?
Yeah, dive in.
Well, oh god, boy, guys, I can't say it even started at this game, but this is 2 years in
For
a
me,
row
interception.
that LaFleur, a team of our caliber, led by LaFleur, seems like its confidence cascades and erodes away for a good third of the season, usually right up front.
Yeah.
And then we have to like get our groove back. But it seemed like that was getting pushed back a couple of weeks each year. I hate to see what I'm seeing in terms of bad habits out of Jordan. I'm watching this kid's confidence erode before my very eyes, and it's hard to watch because this team is so loaded with elite athletic ability.
Young though. Remember,
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Second
But
youngest
more
team.
importantly, like they're learning a lot right now, including how to be scared. And like we forgot to teach them how to have heart first. And I feel like that's a career killer. Like this is what the Bears do. Just throw some fucking kid out there to get scared, and ruin his confidence. So I'm a little more like, man, I thought it after the Lions embarrassed us and kicked our ass in front of the entire school, and everyone just kind of laughed as we laid on the ground covered in piss and blood, looking like a little bitch, and they're all just like, and we're like, man, they're like, that guy's gonna go home and he's gonna draw up something. And what we did is we drew up a nice warm bath, and mom rubbed our back and told us it wasn't our fault, and those kids will come around. They really will. You just got to be nicer to them. You just got to be nice. Guys, take the week off. You know how many padded practices we had last week, gentlemen? One for an extended week. These fucking kids need to get slapped around. They need to remember they play. You know that we have 2 games in a 21-day stretch here. That's fucking terrible for a young team that needs reps. I don't care who you're fucking playing. I don't care if we have the Arizona State fucking college team next. If we aren't playing them for 10, 12 days, I don't like our odds. Like, I don't like LaFleur spending time with these players and saying stuff. I don't like the results. I like when we have a short week. That's usually when we see something good. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Guys, I'm going off the rails.
No, Tyson, you made your point clear that you're beating kids, but I feel like Ty's got a little bit on it.
I'm
Ty,
not.
you got something on your mind. Different perspective. What are you thinking?
Well, I was expecting a bounce back week too. I thought after being embarrassed by the Lions, we were going to come out and look like that week 1 team. Where did that team go? Does that team exist? I don't know. No. But no, it was just a thing.
It was the Bears.
Well,
yeah,
we played a team that was somehow like woefully less prepared and had less of an identity than us, which by comparison made us look like we had this solid identity and we were like this really well executed machine on both sides of the ball. And I might have been where we peaked, which is weird.
Yeah.
Well, when you asked about where it started, for me, right off the bat, with that interception and no conversion on points, like to not get a touchdown with that first pick, this is like 2 weeks now I've seen this happen, and that is unacceptable. We cannot be getting into the gold zone and not converting off of an opportunity like that. First and foremost, that was the first piece of poop that went in my eye from that game.
Let's take it a step further, Chaz. People are kind of blowing up on this comment. I'm not sure if you guys saw Jair, like after
Oh,
the
yeah.
game. Here's a full-on quote. It says, I think at this point it's pretty obvious that the defense has to not give up any touchdown. I think that's part of being self-critical on defense because the offense is pretty young and they're still figuring out their mojo. The defense, we got to be the ones to score and stop them from scoring.
And he had a following quote from that, which also was, well, then how do you fix the offense? And he said, put me in some offensive pads. And I was like, whoa,
There's some shots fired across the bow.
Yeah.
Best play on offense of the whole game was a slant over the middle to Christian Watson that
Yeah.
he would have sprung all the way for a touchdown if he wasn't horse collared for the stop. But
But
I mean,
you got to find a way to
your
score
point.
on that too. I'm sorry. I'm critical of everybody on this game. I'm really frustrated. How do you not duck down, do something to get that in? That is way. I don't want to hear about it was a chess game and that's a penalty you got to take each time. Fuck that. That's a touchdown you got to get. You're right fucking there. You're fast as a cheetah. Fucking do a spin. I don't know what you got to do, but get in that goddamn end zone.
Guys, and I agree with you. And another thing that pisses me off about this young receiving core is it was Christian Watson on the interception where it's like, hey, your quarterback throws a shitty ball and you realize that it's left up short. You fucking swat it down.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
punch the guy in the fucking face. Just make sure it's not an interception. I don't give
Horse
a
collar
shit.
the guy.
No, you're
You need to
defensive
have
back
that
now.
mentality. And dude, they're young. This is the underlying theme for me. And I think Tyson, this is what you're touching on. Is like, I'm sorry, the coaching staff is just missing out on all the details. You can tell me that this team is young on defense. Is it? We've plugged every asset we have into this defense. It's not young. So where's the execution error is there? Ty, like what the fuck's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know. The defense, well, I mean, to Jair's point, the defense is kind of doing its job. They did stuff, they got the turnover and they stuffed them. They didn't let them in the end zone, even though they started with the ball on the 7-yard line. The defense stood strong. I mean, the defense is there. The
defense didn't give up 20
No.
points. That's a recipe for success. That's
Yeah.
enough. And
They
the
got
NFL, if
Here's
you
the
can keep
thing.
them under 20, you should be able to win.
Hold on.
Jimmy G is going to give up 1 or 2 interceptions, right? The Packers did that. They got, they got the errant pick. They checked the boxes on defense, and they were put in tough positions, and they still excelled. They were getting turnovers. They were getting stops. I think fundamentally where it all breaks down is how bad this offensive line is. It's a rotation of just one sloppy character after another.
Oh God, yeah.
Ty, I want to say something, and I'll throw it right back at you. I agree when a defense only allows 17 points, and they did get the job done last night, in my opinion. Like the offense completely let them fucking down. But that is one of the shittiest fucking football teams in the NFL. Okay, so it's more like where do we set our barometer here? And I'm not trying. It's not all Joe Barry. I'm starting to realize that it's like even if Joe Barry puts these guys in the right position, they're fucking up. One player does like every single play. It's like they take their turn, and it's just not well executed. But that for me comes down to the fucking coach, the details, hammer it away. The rest of your staff, like Joe, if it's not you, who do you surround yourself with?
No, I want to make a correction. Last week, guys, I said, speaking out of my ass as I often do, that that the personnel issues that we were experiencing fall to LaFleur, and that's his job. And after doing a little research and reading a couple articles that explained this common frustration, it turns out that the position coaches are in charge of a lot of the substitutions. That's who's on the side. That's who's
Whoa.
actually.
Say
Yeah,
that one more time slower.
The position coaches. That is like the different subsects of the defense or of the offense. The offensive line coach, the running backs coach, yada yada. Those are the coaches that are in charge of the substitution packages and calling those out on the sidelines, pulling those off. If the coach, offensive coordinator or head coach has a problem with what they're seeing going onto the field, they then trickle down and tell, hey, why did you bring that guy out there? Why are you doing this? I want this differently. And they would have to interject. But there's a trust level that is given when you give a position coach that position, that they are going to manage that part of your team for you, unless you're a control freak like Bill Belichick, who just takes control of that himself. But most coaches in the NFL, and I'm sure LaFleur is one of them, feels like it's that's part of the honor of taking that position, is you let them cook, and I feel like that is classic LaFleur, not wanting to be a dick and come down on somebody that's failing himself and the team and the fans. So it does come down to him, but ultimately, like, this is why he's outraged and confused at the press conferences when people are asking him, like, what is going on with these packages? And he's like, tell me about it. You know, just to talk about insanity, doing the same thing over and over again. It's like, yeah, dude, aren't you in charge of stuff? Just like kinda a little bit. So I learned that, and that explains a lot. Mayhew, what do you guys say?
I got two things I wanted to squeeze in real quickly here. First off, you touched on Bill Belichick, and everybody associates this man as like the most detail-oriented coach, like in fucking history, makes it work, like blah blah blah. His team has been destroyed the past 2 weeks at a scale of like 72-3. Like he's an embarrassment in this league currently, and he's the GM. He's bought the groceries. He's created his own thing, and he fucking sucks. So I think it's gives a little bit of perspective that even the greats, given what they think they want or what they need, don't always follow through. So I think as a fan base, we need to give a little bit of like, a little bit of leeway. At the same time, other thing I want to talk about here, okay, because Matt LaFleur on the sidelines of a game looks like, again, we've talked about this, like he just found out that, the opposing team is running a train on his wife. It's real bad. It's real bad. You know what I mean? He's like crying. Did you guys notice in this last game, every time they shot to the sidelines, he would like pace. He was pacing. Where I literally think like he got a publicist and they're like, look, Matt, you look like shit on the sidelines. We got to do something about this. He's like, well, I can't hand my emotions. I don't know what to say. They're like, well, just fucking walk back and forth so the camera can't really like, give like a good view on you. You know what I mean?
Well, that's pretty good.
Go back and look. I noticed it the entire game.
Yeah.
That is too well manicured. Is that of this last game? That picture?
Yeah, dude. Now it looks like they photoshopped his beard though.
And his mustache is way too clean. You know what I mean? That's like a wax job. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I know. I get it. He's actually, I noticed for this game, something that really peeved me, and it took it when I finally realized what it was. I immediately said, "Don't start doing this shit." And that is, he started looking like Rodgers whenever anything's not going his way. He started getting that you got to what do you do? Oh, like, oh my God, to those tight ends we were just talking about. What was his name? The new tight end. What's his name, guys? What's his name?
You talking rookie?
Mm-hmm.
Musgrave?
Yeah.
The Moose?
And I mean, literally watching him like grab him like horsepower style and take him off and be like, what the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to be over here. And I was just like, it was reminding me of a little bit of A-Raj last season, and it was triggering me a little bit.
I mean, LaFleur's going to do a lot more of that. His job's on the line. Like,
it's funny. I love that. That was one of my favorite parts of the whole game. I'm like, there you go. Look like fucking Holmgren over there. Grab by the face mask. Yeah.
You better start kicking some dudes in the shins.
No, I really feel like there's just way too much fucking ballet going on right now. I'd like to see our team be a lot more basic, because that's where our team's at. Our guys need to learn how to play harder. If we had the ass whooping we had against the Lions and we didn't the lesson learned is we just need to scheme up some more stuff. And then we came out there and we looked like a confused, jumbled mess who didn't have any passion again. I'm hoping that with the bye week that this will all catch up and we'll actually have time to process and load this information and maybe actually put the team on the track it should have been on the whole time, which is a more basic, simple, easy to understand offense. Also, like, the other teams are all getting more and more and more tape on what we're doing. So I just feel like we did a really good job of putting out a bunch of plays that don't work. There's a bunch of them on tape that look like shit. They don't work. Let's not run those plays. Let's go back to the most basic version of our offense. We have an opportunity here, coach, to come in here with a more basic offense that nobody really knows we're running, because we can't manage the insanity that you've thrown at us in 5 weeks. That's just a lot of plays for 5 weeks. A lot of plays I'm not familiar with.
And you definitely don't want to be playing your best football week, in that first
We're
third of the
not.
season,
Don't worry
really.
about that.
Yeah.
That's the point.
What we
If we
got.
can just like completely fuck up the first 5
God, I
games,
hope you're right.
Wait. Say that again, Mayhew. Say that again.
I think we're just gonna send into greatness. We didn't want to like show off, like the first quarter of the season. It's like
Oh.
then we hit our stride, gentlemen.
A little
Oh my
bit, little
God,
thing
Tyson-
our good friend Muhammad Ali did. Okay, it's called rope a dope. All right, who's the dope now?
The Lions are going to be the dopes.
What are you gonna say,
Boys,
Mayhew?
I'm Tyson, you touching it. I think a couple games out, like we literally, I think LaFleur might have just like blown his load in the first like 3 or 4 games as far as like offensive scheming. He's like, okay, all right,
We
and
were
now
great week 1.
and now the rest of the league like has this stuff on tape. We seem fucking predictable in the same manner that McCarthy seemed predictable. I'm not seeing anything like
And we
fresh.
can't execute at the same time.
Right.
It's
So
a
coaching wise, like what are we doing here? And we talked at the very first episode of this year about our expectations of this team. Look, we know they're young as fuck. We're not trying to win a Super Bowl. I would be shocked if we even made it to the playoffs, but we talked about growth and just like playing our best football at the end of the year. Now we came out of the gun and I thought we did some nice things early on, and it was against the Bears. And I'm starting to realize that we've made terrible teams look bad, but in retrospect, like how do we match up against like top tier teams in the league? We are fucking not even close. Like San Francisco, Philadelphia, even Dallas, man. As if we're talking NFC, we're nowhere near this tier, and that's okay. Kind of, if we have a direction or some kind of growth. And what I'm seeing is it's a fucking recession week after week. Defensively,
Progressing,
offensively.
big time.
I'll
Regression.
pass it. I'll pass it. You guys know what I'm saying. Ty, what do you got?
So what you're saying, Tyson, is we need a whole new line.
Just a tougher one. Like they need to get a cattle prod. Like my dog has this training zapper thing you can use. Like we can
drop
get that
them off
going.
in the wilderness for like 8 days with like 6 days worth of water, with like 4 days worth of water.
Yeah, old like Alabama
hike
style.
back.
We just got it. No water. Just go fight.
Yep.
Someone's gonna live. Someone's gonna die. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm tired of
It's
being the
probably you,
fucking nail.
John. It's
I'm
probably
tired of
you,
being the
John
nail.
Runyon.
I gotta be the fucking hammer. That's it. I'm tired of it. We gotta find a way. We cannot keep going out here and thinking we can scheme our way out of all of our problems. Okay.
Someone's
Sometimes,
gonna die.
yeah.
All right.
It's truth. It's the truth. And it's not going to be me. That's what I would say. And the floor would be like, oh, I just hope it's quick. No, I feel like he's like that nerd that's like, oh no, that bully's after me. I could learn how to like throw a punch, but I'll just build an army of robots to protect me. And that will help. But I'll just avoid them by rerouting the city streets. And it's just like, how about you just fucking toughen up and learn how to punch first? Be aggressive. Sucker punch. You don't see it coming. You hit him with a pipe. Boom. You won that round.
He's going to
That's what
have
we
to
need to
sucker
do.
punch the NFC North.
Yes, that's the only
Here.
chance we got. No one
Yep.
thinks we're good now.
We're not far
Right
away.
where
We're
we
not
want
far
'em.
away. And teams have gone further with worse defenses. And if we have to ride this defense the rest of the season, it's going to be frustrating to watch them be put in such terrible positions. But this offense is also banged up. I mean, we have no Aaron Jones. It's an entirely different team if Aaron Jones is our number one. Like,
He got hurt doing nothing.
yeah, he got hurt running, which is
He was ready to go, but
stop.
then he was like, "Ooh, actually, no, my leg exploded just hanging
Yeah.
out."
But we're not. Like there are teams in this league that are absolute garbage. The Bears, the Broncos. Oh, there's a couple other. The Panthers. At least until like before last night's game, I didn't think we were that tier. Okay, are we 49ers? No. Are we Eagles good right now? No, we never expected to be. We knew who we were. We were young and going to have to figure out a lot of stuff. Big major change, losing basically the guy who'd been dictating the culture forever. So we weren't expecting to be the Eagles, but I also thought like, okay, well, at least we're not, the Jaguars now.
We're in the 20s, man. We're not in the teens. We're not good. I thought maybe we were better. I think maybe we're not that good right now.
That's my question. That's my question.
Yeah.
Everybody
I don't think that. I'm
we're not as good as
realizing.
we thought we were. How bad are we?
But here's the other part. Did you see the Bears game last week or the week before? I'll tell you what, if I was a fan of football team, I would rather watch the Bears last 2 games than our last 2. Even though they went 1-1 in those games, they look fucking great on offense at times. We haven't. We've looked like it's been hard to get any rhythm, momentum, positivity. I mean, I'm being too rough. AJ Dillon had a great game. AJ Dillon finally had a coming out party. I was really happy to see the way he played the ball. May, what you got?
He did rack up. That was the best game of the year for him, Tyson. I totally agree. I just got to break down again. We had more time to prepare for this game than we have all year, right? Against an opponent that fucking sucks. I don't care what anybody says.
No.
And more importantly, we know that their pass defense is horrid. Okay. So what do we do in the first half? Man, we want to run the ball. We really want to run the ball and make AJ Dillon look good. Yeah, that's a great fucking game plan. Are you kidding me? Yeah,
I think I like that we got to get our offensive line good at fucking something. And if you are more confident in that your offensive line is back and the one guy that can run block consistently is back on that line, you want to fucking break it in. I agree they went too far with it. Absolutely. But I also like that they committed to it. And for the first, quarter, it looked like a pretty good strategy. And in the third quarter, it looked like a real good strategy. And other than that, you're right. It was probably a little too much.
No, for me, it was just like the wrong approach. And that's like my point is that I don't know if these coaches are like trying to outthink. Like you can literally read like every article, like a game gets over and it's like, oh, the Packers should have done this. And I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely right. And then the coach is like, well, no. Joe Barry's like, if they need 11 yards, we're going to back off like 20 yards. Fuck. We're going to back all the way up and just like give them like a little bit of cushion, and kind of see how it plays out. Maybe play a little like 2-4. Gentlemen, there were so many running downs where like our lineup, because now we're getting like better camera views from behind and like, above. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is the smallest lineup of a bunch of fucking people that have no right to be here when they're trying to get 6 yards, 4 yards. It doesn't matter. And dude, I'm not even a football coach. I'm not trying to be that guy, but I think we can all look at like what we're seeing in front of us and just like question it, right? Being like, what are we doing? And that is my Joe Barry. And guys, I gotta admit, no, the driving force here is my fucking dad. Dad, you listening? I know you're listening. You actually came up to me and he's like, you guys are so hard on Joe Barry. I think you need to understand like what he's dealing with and the dad. No, Dad, no. I would fire him. I would fire you if necessary. It's just this gross mismanagement of your talent, of the fucking. I gotta stop. Somebody else talk.
No, you fired your dad.
Spitting.
Let's keep going. What else?
Keep going. Who else are you firing? There were some positives in this game too, right? Like the opening song was good.
Oh, killer!
Right? That little coming in the air tonight. Like that was good. Yeah, man. That was real good, right?
Put on a show.
Tyson,
I know you know what I'm talking about, right?
Christopher absolutely crushed it. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of ESPN because I really find it to be fucking plastic and trash. But I didn't know how good that intro was, guys. That was pretty rad. I'll be honest. I watched the Monday Night Football game and not from the beginning, not like that. That got me hyped. I was ready to go. I'm like, this is the best thing ESPN's done in 20 years. I don't know. Maybe I'm overselling it, but it was good.
No, it was delicious. Delicious.
Scrumptious.
So that was good. Shit, that's all I got.
I will say that there were some surprising Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary, AJ Dillon. These guys had good games. These guys, it's the people that are playing with passion. That's what this game is about. And I'm realizing there's always been two camps in football, guys. There's always been this, and it's always the people that are breaking down the game to a science that it is about reading and breaking down and all that. And then there are the passion players that are the heart players, that are the Brett Favres, that are the ones that are super excited, that often will sometimes make mistakes because they're too passionate and not using their thinking brain, but their emotional brain. I don't know, man. I feel like the whole trend of the league went to the thinkers 5 years ago, and even more so 10 years ago. And now it is swung back hard, and all the best teams, with an exception of the 49ers, are emotionally driven teams, that the players are like a bunch of fucking John Rantles out there just fired up to be playing, just screaming and running around, yelling at the dirt. Like, I just don't see our team as excited just to play the fucking game. We seem like we're thinking and we're worried and we want to execute. We want to do it right. But man, I just want to play football sometimes. And I would wish that once you get out there and you get on the grass, that would take over, or at least somebody's God, I hope someone's teaching that on our team. Because if they're not, like, you're missing the point. You're missing the whole fucking point. And that is what made me love this game, is the passion coming out of number 4 when he came out and took over this fucking franchise. As much as I know Brett Favre turned into a piece of shit and he let us down a million different ways from Sunday, but the way that guy loved the fucking game, and that he was like, this is the best opportunity of my life on a Sunday afternoon playing the fucking Bengals. He got up for it like it was the grit, like this is it. If I die, I'm happy. Like that's missing. That's been missing on our team for a long time. And I don't know anyone. I don't know how you get it back, but I see other teams that are loaded with it.
That guy
You gotta
might be
hire-
on the team. He's just so young, we don't know it yet. Like, that guy
Again?
might be there. That guy might be on this team. He's just so young, we don't know it yet. We don't know who the future leaders are, because they're still pre-leaders. Like, they're not, they're still at the carry my bags kid stage. But that guy is on the team.
Also, our team isn't asking them to be stars. Our team isn't saying, go out there, be a fucking star, go entertain these people, be the best you can be. We're loading people up with this week's expectations, and that's just how the league goes now. But man, the best part,
We also can't-
part of it
sorry.
is I'm just repeating myself. Just
No,
the best part is
we
the
also
heart.
we can't talk about the things that only went wrong, because we also had some really shitty injuries. Am I not wrong here, Mayhew?
No, you're wrong 100%. I'm tired of like blaming injuries on fucking anything right now. What? David Bakhtiari's not here anymore? Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Well, he's got a knee thing.
Yeah, he's got a knee thing. Okay.
Hey,
okay.
He's got a knee
Eric
thing.
Stokes healthy? Oh yeah, Eric Stokes.
I mean, he's around.
Is he?
What happened to your boy Quay?
A knee thing.
Yeah. See, was it the right knee, the left knee, or the hui knee?
Not exactly sure, but it's a knee. He's got a knee.
It's a knee for sure.
Hey, if we're gonna talk on injuries, can we talk about? And Tyson Marky P'd this. Dude, Darnell Savage has been actually one of like the highlights of this year defensively. That guy deserves a lot of credit, and he gets it very rarely. Like many of them do not. Yeah, that's proper English. Let's bring it back real quick here.
Don't worry, I'll edit that out.
He has been a highlight. He has been a bright spot. He's had to do a lot of work because he's playing alongside 4'2", 87-pound Rudy Ford, who likes to ride guys piggyback style when they run into the end zone.
The Reign of Terror ends today, guys. I did some research. Do you know Rudy Ford is 6 feet tall and 200 pounds, you piece of shit? He is not a tiny man. He can fuck both of us up at the same time.
Why does he look like a second grader trying to tackle an eighth grader?
He just got big pads. He just got big pads.
I do feel like he's like, hey, I need to wear like the early 1990s pads. So like those aren't even like applicable anymore. He's like, fuck you. This is the only way I roll. And they're like, well, all right.
I don't know what applicable means. Give me the pads.
This is what Ford's about.
Yeah, no, I feel like also, like, can we just talk for a second? about how Max Crosby was like fucking Jackie Chan, just like battling a bunch of worthless putties that were our fucking offensive line. Like we had no chance against him. Like he just like ran around the entire line. We're like, what? Oh! I didn't know he was gonna get the quarterback. Like I couldn't believe this guy, one person destroyed our entire offensive game plan, and we didn't know what to do. I mean, we tried a million things and none of them worked. So we're like, well, shit, I guess we'll just lose then. I just can't believe.
Yeah, you're spot on. This guy single-handedly destroyed our entire fucking game plan, I guess, whatever game plan there was. But even more disturbing is the lack of quality of tattoos that this man has on his body. Can we talk about that just like a little bit? I'm like, dude, what like when you were 14, you just made some poor choices?
No, yeah, he always talks about I used to be a junkie. He's cleaned up, which is like, aren't you a little young to be cleaned up? Like,
don't bring relevance and understanding to this podcast, Tyson. I'm trying to make fun of this man, okay?
I am too. It's just a lot darker, you know? Well, whatever. It's working. The guy is in great shape, even though he doesn't look like he's in great shape at all. Apparently, all he does is study film and like work out. That's all they talked about. This guy is just like the only one trying in the whole world. And I'm like, well, what? I wonder if we should do that. Yeah, I don't know. It was impressive. It seemed like for how brilliant we were, he knew, just like last week, what we were doing before we did it. He knew our snap count. He knew everything about our team. It just seemed like he was able to, it was like watching me play Madden. And like, just like every time I was a guy,
nobody wants to watch you play Madden.
Yeah,
God damn it!
We're all gonna come over right now and watch you play some Madden.
You guys, I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna bring some Madden up right now.
What I was gonna say,
tape yourself playing it, and then we can watch you watching yourself play Madden.
Well, while we're talking about Madden, let's also not forget about my fantasy team this week. Which I'm kidding, Tyson. I had a question specifically for you.
I'm ready.
The battle of the brother kickers for this game. What kind of Caitlin magic was working at your house this fucking week?
I have married the most beautiful, wonderful, talented, and psychic woman in the whole world, and she did some amazing work again. Yeah, she realized when she looked at the father. And he was wearing the like split outfit, and the guy was up for his first kick, and she's like, "Okay, so that's the one, and it's the pets. It's not the pets." She's like a medium. She's like getting the reading. She's like, "It's the pet.
Yep.
It's not the dog." Oh, he broke the fish tank, the saltwater fish tank. It's from the fish incident, and then he missed the kick because he remembered he broke the dad's saltwater fish tank, spilling his precious rare saltwater fish, of which not all made it back into life. He killed some, and his dad never ever forgave him. And this little brother, you know what he did? He helped his dad go rebuild the fish tank. It was like a bonding thing. So they're together with the fish. It brings them together, but the fish are a terrible memory for the elder. Yeah.
We're keeping that.
He definitely disowned. He disowned one of his kids that night. I think we all know who it was.
His mom took it pretty hard. She had a hard time with it, but yeah, it had to be done.
That's what he said. Also, so I want to just give a thank you, Cato, Cato's Corner, for just working your voodoo as you always do, gentlemen. Before we keep going or move on, whatever, are there any final thoughts for this game? It's open for discussion. Anything you got to get off your chest about this game?
Yeah, Keyshawn Nixon needs to get a hold of himself and learn how to be a professional and not be so damn sloppy. Bringing the energy is one thing. Hurting your team every single week with some dumb nonsense is getting old. Let's see. I had a couple other. That Yash block. Yash Nyman showing the athleticism, leaping 8 feet in the air to get a ring finger on a football. It's beautiful.
Why won't they let him play? I don't
let him play. Why is this guy backing up?
He can't play guard?
Yeah, he can't.
Paying him $4 million just to hang out?
You can't replace John Velcro Shoes Runyon.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait. From now on.
Just took a moment for me to ingest. Ty,
It's a
Fucking
thinker.
God,
It's a
that good.
thinker. I like it.
Velcro shoes.
Yeah, no. The unexpected players of the game for me, that you wouldn't expect. Anders Carlson, like you said, Josiah Zaguara had a hell of a game.
hey,
You know, guys, just
Oh, can we dive in the back, Dave?
Hold
Yeah.
on. One at a time. Everybody back away from their mics. God damn it. You're all
We
getting
need to
too excited.
focus.
You're all crazy.
We need to focus on Josiah DeGuara. Not me, but the group.
I had an observation about Josiah DeGuara, and
Let me hear it.
we're gonna track this throughout the course of the season. But it appears to me that when Jordan Love takes off running, he picks up one key block, and usually that blocker is Josiah DeGuara. When things break down and chaos ensues, he's the only guy. I mean, maybe it's the special teams experience. Maybe he's just so desperate for anything good to happen. But number one blocker when the quarterback is on the run on that field has been Josiah DeGuara. I keep him around just for that.
Ty, I just think you're not saying that name right. Tyson, what's the official name on the roster?
Yeah, how's it?
You just DeGuara.
You got to say it like
you got to say it like
party.
you got to say it like his alcoholic father says it when he talks shit about his accomplishment. That's the way you got to say it. I saw him out there. How many touchdowns you get today, Josiah? You're just killing your mother.
I'm still. I haven't quite come back from Velcro shoes yet.
He can tie them himself, guys. They're finally tight.
No, he can't. They just finally got tired of yelling at him to tie his shoe, and he was like, he played for 28 years of his life. He played like he was just too lazy to tie his shoes, and then they were like, John, don't you want your shoes to stay on your feet? And he's like, yes.
But
You know, he says
Guys,
it's fashionable now. He says
Rudy
David
Ford-
Beckham was wearing a pair, and they're cool. But you can say that, John.
Rudy Ford is gonna be, before you know it, our best safety. And that is not because we have good safeties. It's just a situation, okay? And I have to root for this guy, and I like parts of his game, okay? He's playing with his hair on fire. He's playing with energy. But yeah, I just, it's time to get on the Ford train. If you think you could afford to sit over there and not like Rudy Ford, you can't. You gotta realize this is the best we got. This is our guy. This is him.
Tyson, are you saying we can't afford to not back Ford at this point?
You can't. No, you can't afford it.
like a rock,
Not back Ford.
I'm as strong as I can be. Like a rock.
I also, guys, I gotta say that my good friend Mr. Smith at outside linebacker is one of the most solid fucking players on this team.
Seriously.
He is probably our best, most consistent run stopper, and every game for a player to, he reminds everybody why he's lasted this long in the NFL. He's a fucking serious contender. And I love our work with that third string tight end Mims. What's he doing in the game? Who knows? They're throwing three balls
Mimsy?
at him. Yeah, old Mimsy.
Little
He's
Mimsy?
out there. He's out there getting a couple of looks because we are like, that's the guy we're gonna game plan for. That third string tight end you'd never seen or heard of.
Tyson, I am so glad you said that name because he comes
Little
in
Mimsy?
at number 1.
Oh,
PFF ranked on offense. And this is-
baby.
can I just read this to you? So
Give it to Mimsy.
Sims caught his only target, forced a
Sims.
missed tackle, gained a first down, and was the team's highest rated run blocker.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Mims.
That's yeah.
This guy came in
guys.
for like one play and literally shattered like any hope of anybody else like
Oh, we're that bad. That's what happened. Jordan Love had like a QBR rating of like 14. It's like impossible. It's like you spell your name right, you get a higher rating than that. It's bad.
My friends, is there anything we want to say before we take a quick commercial break and move on to talking about this next team? Hudovich, you got something to say?
Yeah, I'm fucking seriously. Nobody has anything more to say. No, I this caliber.
We're gonna
of
be
football,
right back.
No, shut up.
I'm kidding.
Shut
I'm
the fuck
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
This caliber of football is not acceptable. I don't need elite. Like we've been talking about this. Like we know what
Not gonna
teams
get
are
it.
where. You know what I mean. But I do need a football team to have a fucking vision, a fucking drive. I need coaches to make them better. I need a football team that doesn't continue to regress, playing the worst of the NFL. I mean, let's look ahead, gentlemen. The
Sure.
Broncos. We're gonna touch on that real soon. The rest is like either our division. We got the fucking Panthers. This is the cakest schedule we have ever experienced in our life. And I feel like we're still going to be like 6-11.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel sick. Sorry.
Oh, it's wasted. You're right. It's wasted opportunity of an easy schedule. It's like they couldn't get it done. Yeah, we need passion, dude. We need some passion on this team. You're right, Mayhew. It is unacceptable. Thank you for bringing it back because it is completely ridiculous that we can skate around and pretend that this is what Green Bay Packers football is about. It is not about sitting back, filling a stadium, having a nice Sunday, and seeing the best you can do, and we'll get it. We'll just see what we got here. No, man, like this is an honor and a privilege and a celebration of greatness and the historic greatness. And I just would love it if nothing else, there's been a lot of players that are not great that play with great passion. I just want to get back to us being tough.
Gritty. I like it, gentlemen. Getting serious there. I like that a lot. I will agree 100% with everything that was just said and add to it that I'm just going to say that I'll agree with all of the things you said. Ty, what were you going to say, buddy? Pass it to you.
I'm catching like Jaden Reed here.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in panic mode. I probably should be. It is, but I'm not. I'm the guy when everybody else on the airplane is like, is that turbulence normal? I'm like, yeah, either that or we're all gonna die. Yeah, it's like that, or we're hit a death spiral. Like,
Line them up because we're going down.
Panic in 30 seconds, but now is not the time to panic. Like,
nah.
I don't think it's there. There's a lot of experience on this team. The coaches suck, but we can overcome. It is a lousy division. We have that going for us. That loss hurt just because the Raiders were so bad, and I want to see us look good against bad teams, not look bad against bad teams.
Ty, you said it perfectly. Like, yeah, I just want to dominate the shitty teams and then realize that where I'm at in the NFL, and we fucking okay.
And not be here like comparing ourselves to other bad teams.
Yep.
Well, guys, the beauty of it is we have the greatest team of all time in the NFL. I mean, we all know that, right? Yeah, we all know that. The greatest franchise of all time.
Yes.
All time. There is no denying that. There's no time. Not team, franchise. We all know that.
Indeed.
Also, how much of the season is done? 1/3? Is it technically 1/3?
Yeah, roughly.
Right.
After the bye week.
There's still so much more to play, guys. There's so much more to play. There's so much more game to play. And I think the number one takeaway from this first half, though, and I really like what you said, Tyson, is getting back to the nitty gritty, but really something we haven't said much this year is getting back to a little more huck it, chuck it football.
Yeah.
At least knowing what we do. At least knowing who we are.
Yeah, have an identity at least.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, I'm glad you fucking said that, Chaz. Is that like,
yeah,
I think we need to find out what this quarterback can do. Let him just fucking air it out. Let's air it out.
Air it
because
out.
he's really bad at it. On paper, he's 6 for 24 of balls thrown over 10 yards. If I'm if I'm looking at the papers here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But why
yeah.
not, instead of
Nice.
running it, just let him fucking go? What does this guy have? Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Also,
what he doesn't have, Mayhew, is 3 seconds to throw a football.
No. No.
he doesn't.
No.
Guy knows
It's,
the
a
long
one, it's a
stick.
one look. It's a one
Yeah.
look.
I also
and
think you gotta
He
get off.
has to read, and he has to blind, and it's a blind pass.
Bay, you're right though. We have to get off the grid. We've been in the grid way too much. It's what I craved when we were watching the Jazz player of Aaron Rodgers for all those years where he refused to be contained by any rhythmic requirements. You know, he's gonna do things his fucking way, and that's how it's gonna be. Yeah, and I liked the AC/DC thing that we were trying to pull off earlier this year, the straight 2-4, you know. But it is not working right now. We can't hold down a beat. So at this point, when you can't play and beat, it's time to say you're playing Fusion Jazz, baby. Let's get back out there and let it cook.
That's
you
right.
know? No, really, I'd love to see what happens if you just let them fucking just play. Because I feel like that's the part of Jordan that hasn't been seen since, like, I don't know, maybe the Eagles game. That was a game where I felt like he just showed up and played. And he looked like a guy who was really comfortable in an offense, and all of a sudden everything was open and we were scheming guys with rub routes across the middle for a fucking 80-yard run. And like, that's what you do with Christian Watson. Why do we have to have it be 80 yards in the air? Like, that seems like a very low likely chance of making that catch. Like, he's fast no matter where you give him the ball. So and we got to get Romeo involved more. This guy is the fucking heart and soul of our team right now on offense. I really hope we can find a way to scheme these guys into more easy, quick hit options. Use them in different spots.
Wow, Tyson, you're sounding like the offensive coordinator that I want to fucking see leading this team. I could not agree more on every single fucking level. Open it up. Let this guy fucking sling it. I don't care if it's not working, but when we've been down, okay, Saints game, right? When it really needed to happen, when it was forced. I think that's when Jordan threw his best fucking balls, man. When like the offense just kind of like flowed through him. Why are we trying to force things at all? Lean into our talents, lean into like what we're good at, and just kind of like let the game come to us a little bit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like a finger in an orgy, baby. You can either back into that thing or let it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Not what I meant, but yeah, absolutely.
Great analogy. Yeah, no, it comes down to LaFleur too. Same thing, you know.
I like what I'm hearing, gentlemen. I'm hearing that we got to get back to some bass. We got to get to the real hurdy-gurdy. We got to get to the electric boogaloo. We got to stop being namby-pamby prissy guys and just play some hucka-chucka. You know
We
what I'm saying?
gotta get to a fucking commercial, Chaz.
Pinkies up, bitch.
Make that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a minute. Remember, subscribe, like, follow, and share. Be back in just a second. Good shit.
Talking Green Bay Packers football.
Are you a complete fucking loser? Really don't have any chance at life at all? You're not getting paid? You're not getting laid? Well, the perfect product for you. And it's a pair of sunglasses that will completely change your fucking life, okay? They're made from frog skin. No one thought that was actually a thing, but that's what they do now. We take frogs and we make sunglasses. And if you walk into that goddamn meeting room wearing these sunglasses, you know that you're number one in charge. You're the fucking guy.
The guy.
That is going to take that company to the top.
Tippy top.
Frog skin sunglasses. We call them Croakleys at our establishment. So hop online, grab yourself a set of Croakleys, and change your goddamn life for the better.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Two Dads and a Chaz podcast. Thank you again for subscribing, liking, and following us. Because again, we are on more than one platform now. We've got the YouTubes, we have the iHeartRadio, and we've got Spotify. And yes, very soon we will have Apple Music. We're going to move into who we're going to be playing soon. I think it's the Broncos, right? The Broncos. We're playing the Broncos.
Yep.
Right? The Broncos.
Yes, but not this
I'm going to
week.
throw it. Oh, not this week. It's not soon. It's in like 35 days or something, right? We're playing them next quarter, right? We're playing them New Year's. What is it? Playing them. I don't know. Anyway, Tyson, tell me a little bit about the Broncos.
Well, we are about to play the Broncos, folks. The Denver Broncos. And we're pretty excited because it's like definitely 2 weeks away from now. We'll record this on a Tuesday. So we're going to talk about the Broncos as they exist today, Tuesday, the day in our Lord. Mind you, by the time we play these motherfuckers, this might be a completely different team because this team is at a fucking fire sale right now. It is a garage
They might
sale,
get relegated.
and they're like, guys, it's so funny. You think about like our team, and we're like, what? We're 2-3, and we're like, man, it's a bummer. I hope we really figure it out and get it going. They're like lost one more game, and they're like, well, this is over. This is done. Let's get this out of here. Everybody out. Who wants Randy Gregory? Anybody? Who take him? I don't even care. $70 million. Throw it away. I don't care. Yeah, they are definitely Sean Payton decided he was going to come back to the league, for those who didn't know. And he decided the Denver Broncos with a post-op fucking Russ Wilson over there at QB, which is not working out right. The lobotomy did not take. He is not the same guy he used to be. He used to be kind of weird too. So like Russ is not cooking up anything good in Denver. And also the team just seems to be kind of a mixed bag, and he's willing to fire people and get them out of here right away. He has full freedom and control, it seems, to do whatever the fuck he feels like. So he's like, I'm gonna sleep on it one night, and they literally cut Randy Gregory, who had 2 years left on his contract, and it was like a $70 million super big contract. And this is a fucking great player. And where'd he go? Oh yeah, 49ers. For what? Nothing. Like pretty much nothing. They traded him for nothing. So then that guy goes to one of the best teams in the league. And they have a lot of other guys that are up. Jerry Jeudy. I don't know if you guys know Condoleezza Rice is involved with the Broncos. She's like, I don't know. She is somehow in charge of team president or somehow. So they got a lot of big minds that have decided it's time to fucking flip this whole thing over. And that's what's happening. So who knows who will be on the team by the time we play these guys. That being said, they are not having a good year. And it would seem that we once again have an opportunity to decide if we're the worst team in the league or if they're the worst team in the league. So they had a hell of a game against the Chicago Bears 2 weeks ago. Very impressive comeback against the Bears, probably best performance of the year up to that point. And they did rip their hearts out, which I was impressed with. But yeah, there's not a ton on this team to be super afraid of, because they're just not in a position that they're just trying to get through the year and change the whole thing out and get a whole new team. That being said, we could lose to anybody. So that's our next team. And it's our first time going mile high with these kids, these youngsters on our team. Are they going to handle all the altitude and legal weed? It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a different experience, but I don't know. Maybe you guys feel differently. Where are you guys at on the Broncos?
Well, we played them in 1997. Okay. John Elway, he was the quarterback at the time. It's a very controversial game. Okay. We definitely should have won it. Robert Brooks. Let me tell you something about Robert Brooks. I know absolutely nothing about the Broncos other than they're kind of like horses. Yeah. Was that not the moment?
Oh, it's good.
That was not the moment.
You got it.
Yeah. No, that's all I got. That's all I got.
I feel like
That's
you
it.
were going to say something valuable, maybe. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say the fact that I'm not afraid of this Broncos team is what frightens me, because
Yeah, me too.
we can dial it back. I was not afraid of these Raiders. I was not afraid of those Lions, and I certainly
weren't afraid of the lot. You weren't afraid of.
I wasn't afraid of the Saints.
Oh man, that's trouble.
Remember all those times?
Yeah.
I was like, we're gonna fucking beat these jokers. And now I've said that 3 weeks in a row, and all 3 weeks in a row I've gotten burned. So, yeah, I'm not afraid of these Broncos. I'm glad we have a bye week where we do. I usually think week 6 would be early, but thank God we have it now. I'm not afraid of them, and that's what terrifies me.
We're never usually afraid of the opponents we're about to face these last couple of weeks, are we, Ty? And then it just ends up being a big old dick punch.
Just several dick punches. For a while there, it was just 15 minutes of dick punches.
Hey, Ty,
Sorry.
new segment. Ty's dick punch ditch.
Huh?
Dick punch. Hard to say. Dick.
It's a ditch.
punch.
Is it a ditch that you get?
You know what?
punched in
We're
the
keeping
dick
it.
at, or is it a ditch?
It's more that like
Am I
Ty
just
like the week
identifying?
prior. The week prior, like Ty is so like he believes, you know what I mean? But inevitably, if we fall short, that's when Ty gets dick punched. Ditched.
Cut like a while ago, Chaz. Were you throwing back into something or bringing us back?
It was more the dick punch ditch thing for me. I'm really feeling it. I really want to just I want to keep that going, you know? If you had a dick punch gulch or a dick punch, I don't even know how to say it anymore.
Thank you for bringing it back.
It is hard to say. It is hard to say. Ty,
That's how you know it's a good segment.
Ty.
Yeah, no one can say it.
what's your recipe for dick punch? Is it
All I know
is it straight fruit and red wine? Do you do white
You haven't
wine?
had the dick.
Is it
slap.
Wapatui? Is it
That you had
Everclear?
the dick
you
slap.
just made a new sponsor. That's all.
What's
I know.
next sponsor?
Dick punch.
is dick punch.
It's game day.
It's
you
game day.
thirsty?
Make yourself some dick punch.
Oh, are you tired of drinking beer?
Well, mix up the dick punch yourself. I like it.
Yeah,
Dick punch. Yeah.
Yeah.
The key is the dick.
All I know is
Bro,
that if you took a shot every time someone said dick on this show or referenced some kind of penis reference, you'd be dead. You'd be a dead person. We'd kill multiple people with alcohol.
No. You'd be a true fucking fan, Tyson. You'd be a
Yeah, you're right.
Don't be a dick.
Go back.
Go pack, go.
Yeah. We talking Green Bay Packers football.
Welcome back to 2D and a C.
Guys, I'll take the lead. Let's talk QB right away. I mean, it's the glaring fucking. Everybody understands that Russell Wilson is the quarterback of the Denver Broncos. Top tier money, draft picks. They're like, oh, this is the guy. This is going to change everything. You know what I mean? Turns out that he's a fucking piece of shit, and nobody likes him, including like his entire team, which I think is like the most disturbing part of it. Like as an offense, it's like, hey, I want to get behind my QB. Anybody here in this room hear anybody say anything good about Russell Wilson on that team? I think
there's like
for
4
starters.
teams technically that don't like Russell Wilson that he's been on. Like he transferred from one in college to our team, UW, which also didn't have like great things to say about him. And then he went to the Seahawks, went to 2 Super Bowls, and they're like, you could leave anytime now. And then he's here, and they're like, yeah, this guy's fucking weird. So that's 4 teams that didn't want you, Russ.
Show you the door. Yeah.
Tiny man with big hands.
Yeah, and it works. It works when you're
Life is a
26
smoke.
and you can run around like that. But watching him even try to do it now, it's sad. and my knees hurt watching him try to play football. It's over for these guys, I think. Who's their coach?
Sean Payton.
Then why is he having all this trouble?
Because he just came back after working with Terry Bradshaw, and like he's still hungover, and he's trying to figure out how to coach again. And so it's just and I think that the Broncos expect greatness as well. That franchise seems to stay relevant longer than they don't. And with the AFC, I don't know. I feel like they're heavy hitters in the AFC consistently. So I understand the expectations and them not getting met and how that would frustrate them. But they swung for the fences and overpaid for this coach after they overpaid for a quarterback. And I don't know if either one of them are working out, to tell you the truth, because I feel like Russell Wilson, they had him lose like 15 pounds. They thought that ought to do it, but like, he's still not like, he's just not getting it done. I don't know. And also there's a lot of football left, and he's proven the world wrong before, but I just don't know that I don't know what team makes sense for Russell Wilson, but I just don't know that it's the Broncos. The let's ride thing was rough. I just don't think you come back from that. You just got to move to a different town after you say that.
Well, Mayhew, can you give me a couple of stats as far as PFF for this Broncos team?
Well, Chaz, first off, once you go Subway, you never go back. Like, it pretty much destroys careers. But if we're moving on to stats, yeah, let's look. So they lost the Jets last week in fine fashion, which is really funny, too, because Sean Payton actually called out Nathaniel Hackett, who is the offensive coordinator of the Jets now, but was the head coach of the Broncos last year, got fired after one round, right? Raj actually spoke up for this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Man, I was really looking forward to this matchup. I circled it on my calendar before Rodgers' leg exploded.
I know. And then Tyson, you saw it and you're like, oh, you circled it and you're like, oh, this is horrible mediocrity. Like, I don't give a shit anymore. And we all kind of moving on with our day, right? So here we are.
100%.
Yep. Leaves, got to move them.
I don't know. Chaz, what do you want to hear here? Is Russell Wilson went 20 of 31 for 196 yards and 2 TDs. Pretty standard high school quarterback numbers. Receiving wise, I don't know.
Every one of those yards that Russell Wilson got was the hardest way you could possibly think to get a yard. Like his stats, you have to track him in the number of miles he ran in order to get an accurate picture on what's going on with him. Because he just makes the game of football. Some people make football look so easy. Russell Wilson makes football look so hard.
I think the fact, like, anytime Zach Wilson beats you on the football field, like, you have to reevaluate your entire fucking life. Like, things are wrong in your world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember it well.
Okay. Jerry Jeudy, I respect this motherfucker. He's straight out of Alabama. Actually, one of the strongest route runners I've ever seen in my life. His career is being wasted.
He's up for sale. Actually, he's available. You want him?
Yeah.
They'll give him to you for like nothing.
Tyson?
Yeah. He had like a third round pick.
Would they take a Josiah DeGuara for him?
Yeah, I bet they would. No, I don't think they would. They don't want any of our trash players, but they do want picks.
That sounds like a sweet package.
Third and a six would get it done for sure. You have Jerry Jeudy on our team tomorrow.
If that's accurate, Tyson, yeah.
Yep.
That's
what's going to happen. He's going to end up going
stupid not to do it. Yep.
Yeah, watch a team that with a contender do that. Watch like the 49ers just like load them up and just fucking pick another Hall of Famer off their team because they just got too many. It's like a fucking Madden team over there.
It is. They're turning into Real Madrid.
Look, if anybody leaves this pod with any shred of just like my personal opinion, I'm sorry, I'm just throwing it out this right now, is that it is wildly disturbing to me that the greatest player on this team at this juncture is Anders Carlson, who I have shredded from the fucking get-go. Okay,
guys,
this guy has boat raped countless individuals, but he remains. He has not missed a fucking kick, gang. Not one. or an extra point.
He makes difficult things look easy, and I appreciate it. I mean, I really feel like in general, the people that we drafted, that I'm like, who the fuck is this dipshit? Why would we waste a pick on the kicker or a backup QB? And they both are like real good. And I'm like, oh man, cool. All right.
Is this game winnable, or is this just another? We're just gonna like bite our lip and give it hell kind of sitch here.
Oh, this is another test to the bottom, my friend. We're gonna see, how fucking bad are we? This is like a thermometer up the ass. We're gonna figure out a very accurate reading of how shitty is this fucking team by playing every of the worst teams in the fucking league, one after another, and find out in reverse order how good we are until the Chiefs fucking cave our faces in. Week, I don't know, what is that? 10?
Yeah, around there, right?
Yeah, it's the one good team.
By the way,
one good team on their schedule.
As far as winning and losing does go, last week, I'm not going to tell everybody's because almost all of us were wrong. Aaron, with his over 55 Vegas style, didn't work out. I mean, I nailed it with 13-17 as a loss, but, I'm uncanny that way. And Tyson, with your 27-14 loss with Josh Jacobs getting over 100 yards. Did he get over 100 yards?
No, he did not, but that's not too far off for the Scott.
Not too far.
I'm not proud of that, but yeah.
I get it, but I at least had to bring it up. I
like the approach. The whole 92-3, Chaz, I think we could shake.
Well, no, actually, I had 13-17, 100%. I nailed it. That's 3 weeks in a row I've gotten it exact. I'm going to keep going, baby.
Chaz has been getting them right every time.
Every week.
As long as you don't watch the shows to the end, it adds up. Luckily, they've all hung up by now. They don't
Tyson, you know this when it comes to talent. When you got it, okay? And when you got it, you can't lose it. You know what I'm saying, baby? Speaking of, what is your recommendation as far as what do you think this score is going to be, Tyson?
I think it's going to be 27-20. Packers.
Conservative. I like it. May Hudovich, what are you thinking, pal?
Going Vegas style again. I got two for you, Chad. I think
two. Okay.
Over 44
Mm-hmm.
combined score, and then 3+ sacks on the Packers end.
And 3+ sacks per pack. Okay. So I've got you locked in over 44 for combined and 3+ sacks for the pack. Interesting. Ty?
Well, you know how I like to go big.
I do.
And
It's gonna be a route, let me guess.
yeah, it's gonna be a total. No, so I'm gonna go the other way. This thing's gonna be so terrible. Major suck fest, right? Because if we get the opposite of what I think it's gonna be, then let me just plug a suck fest. 12-10 Packers.
12-10 Packers.
12.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't even do
You're right.
that.
It's going to be weird.
You got to miss a 2-point conversion that you didn't need to go for.
Okay, I could definitely happen.
That's how that's it. It's not 4 field goals. No, that's definitely Matt LaFleur not needing to go for 2 at all and not getting it.
Legit.
It likely could happen.
My friends, this week, as far as the game ball goes, this is going to be a bit of you're going to have to wait and see, because the game ball is actually going to the podcast. Again, we are streaming on 3 different things right now, hopefully 4 by the time we come back for this game. The game ball is going to go to the Two Dads and a Chaz brand new logo, which will be finished by the time we get this next game. And that is a guarantee. I can't wait for you all to see it. We are all working, the 4 of us, very hard together to get this thing up and ready to go for you all. And yes, you might even be able to get, what's that, Chaz? T-shirts. Yes, we are coming out with Two Dads and a Chaz merchandising. We're going to have two dads and a Chaz, the flamethrower. Two dads and a Chaz, the t-shirt blaster. We're going to have two dads and a Chaz, laser-etched Zippo lighters. And t-shirts. Unfortunately, they're only going to come in one size, and that is medium, because that's all we can get, and that's all we can afford. So either
Chain
lose some
wallets,
weight,
lots of chain
or-
wallets.
They shrink a lot in
Chain
the
wallets.
watch. So don't worry. They do shrink a lot in the watch.
but
Chaz,
seriously,
you comb in the desert. You found anything yet?
we ain't found shit. But no, seriously, everyone, we are going to start having some merch, hopefully before halfway point of the season, and we will have our official Two Dads and a Chaz logo coming out. Gentlemen, we like to close with a hashtag, but before we do, final thoughts before we exit. Kai.
It's not time to panic yet. We can right this ship. There's growth to be had. Don't give up. Go Pack, go.
Tyson.
Oh man, I just imagine you'd be like, no one needs to panic as you're like going over the waterfall. You're like, everyone needs to just calm down, okay?
No, it's just some turbulence.
Yeah, we're all gonna die or it'll be fine or whatever.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We're all going to tire. It'll be fine. That's my life.
Look here, America, okay? We got ourselves a chance to right the ship and get us back on track, at least progressing in a direction that is enjoyable to watch and easy to root for, and gives us a clear path as to who we are, where we're heading, or what we need to amputate to get there. So I hope that we all can come together mile high and celebrate the Green Bay Packers opportunity to finish the last 2/3 of this season with some fucking pride, some grit, and some passion. That's what I hope and I pray for as a Packers fan. Go Pack, go.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Porcelain Prince, tell me.
Yeah, I'm gonna paint a much grimmer picture. I'm gonna be totally honest. I'm nervous and worried about the direction of this franchise in general. I'm worried about our quarterback, and we barely touched on Jordan Love. Man, we barely even touched on this guy. He fucked up in a lot of places. Not just like, I don't know what we're talking about here, man. This guy is wildly inaccurate at times, and then other times he looks like a fucking maestro. I don't know what's going on there. A pod for another day, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think the fact that we've been barely hanging on in our wins and then losing to teams that fucking suck. No, I'm an upset Packers fan. And Chaz, I'm going to continue to critique and be that guy that's like, hey, it's not okay.
I want to close by saying sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know what I mean? Like the great Vince Lombardi once said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We're going to end this podcast with a hashtag real quick. Hashtag this week, gentlemen, is going to be a 3-2-1 hashtag. Fuck the Broncos, right?
Yeah.
3.
Best we can do. It's the best we can do, Chaz.
Let's ride.
We could do hashtag fuck John Elway if you like.
No.
Dude, I've heard he's
think
a
so.
terrible tipper. I've heard like he's a piece of shit. Actually, I would like that. He's an asshole.
All right. Okay. Listen.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'll just say
Let's
fuck
do
you
it.
to some rich guy. He's done well.
Let's do it. Hashtag 3, 2, 1.
Fuck John
Elway.
Okay, yeah. That works.
Like, share, subscribe to the NSC.
Two dads and a Chaz putting trophies on the wall. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. Two dads and a Chaz talking Green Bay Packers football. We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Mostly gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up the air condition, cause it's bound to get hot. Two dads and a chance, you know we live it and we live it right. Two dads and a chance, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides them rings and putting trophies on the wall.
Trophies, y'all.
Two dads and a chance is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.